As Juan Crookshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking in for a daily Move Swiftly thought, giving your perspective on teamwork that you will not get anywhere else. Great, nice recovery day today. Somewhat recovery day because I didn't hit the mileage goal yesterday. I added a few more miles today. Instead of 2, I knocked out 4 miles. Felt pretty good doing it, getting a nice stretch. And I did actually cramp yesterday. I did actually cramp. So it turned out to be the right decision to cut it a mile short because the cramps did start to come, and luckily they weren't as severe as I've had it in the past. All right. So as far as today's Move Swiftly thought, I'll make it short and sweet today, seeing that our battery's about to run out. And today, Wednesday, according to this Wednesday, on Wintrepreneur Wednesday, we have live recording, live streams coming up at 8 a.m. today. It comes out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, called Tackling Turnover with Teamwork. I'll probably dive deeper into my points later on today when I address you guys on the live stream, all right? But I do want to make sure I make mention or at least address the situation that happened in San Francisco with Nick Bosa. Nick Bosa for the San Francisco 49ers this past Sunday, I believe it was Sunday night after they beat Dallas. Brock Purdy was doing an interview. It was Brock Purdy and George Kittle, and I think it was somebody else. But he photobombed the interview, crashed the interview with a MAGA hat, a Make America Great Again hat, showing his support for Donald Trump. I believe he has actually made an appearance at some of his rallies and stuff like that. And, the politics and the football starting to cross hairs. And whenever that happens, your boy's all on it. Your boy has to respond to that. Being a former football player from the DMV area, I was mixed into all of that. I always love seeing when football and politics are kind of in the crosshairs and they're able to give lessons. They're able to, show, hey, everyone has a voice. Everyone has something they want to say. And, when I see players dropping their nuts and not giving a fuck at all about what somebody else may say or how somebody may take it. I always love when you see that level of pride, especially a kid like Nick Bosa. Again, as a Michigan fan, I'm taught to not necessarily, I don't like to speak too kindly about folks that played at Ohio State, but I do respect his game. If you watch him play, he is a player. Him, his brother, I love the story. They both came from St. Thomas Aquinas. Their dad also played for the Dolphins. So, families like that, structure like that, football families like that, is always that's a goal of mine, to build a family like that. So I'm always have some level of admiration for that and all that. So as far as, the fallout or the blowback from it, the one thing I'll just say is this. Look, when it comes to the Democratic campaign and when it comes to Kamala Harris and everything she's been running on for the past 90 days or whatever it is, it has all been about trashing Donald Trump, the entire campaign. Everything, from her policy, from jump, it's been mostly about beating Trump. It hasn't been about voting for her. It's been about voting against Trump. So much of her policy, so much of everything she's saying is about bashing him. So when you do that, and it has been proven, shows that well over half of America loves him, well over half of America is voting for him, and people who take pride in their politics, people who take it personally when you start to attack a man as opposed to talking about how you can help. And you have absolutely, there's the one thing about, and I'll dive into this a little later, but it's the one thing about people who truly hate Trump. I have always asked the question, and how I actually posed the question, even a year ago I did an episode on this, is even though you may not like Trump, I always ask the question to every Trump hater, is like, hey, is there one good thing you can say about the man? Is there one thing that you can say about him? Because again, it's just not conducive to the development. It's not conducive to what we're trying to accomplish as a society, to just simply trash someone who has obviously is doing something right. And if he's doing something right, that should be your MO. Your whole thing should be to figure out what he's doing right. I mean, obviously you have what he's doing wrong well covered, or what he's done wrong well covered, but figure out what he's doing right and learn from each other, learn from the mistakes. But it shouldn't be so much trashing. And the result of you doing that, and think about how embarrassing that is for Kamala Harris, who has come out and said she's a 49ers fan, a San Francisco 49ers fan, built her career in San Francisco. You have the guy who is one of the stars for San Francisco coming out and saying he's supporting somebody else. You have Le'Veon Bell, who came out with a Trump versus Tramp shirt. Football players. These are NFL players that are using their platforms and using their voice to show how much they actually appreciate the work that Trump is doing. And that's the problem when you trash your opponent. So again, like I always say when I talk politics, I'm not telling you who to vote for. I'm just asking you to pay attention to these little things and apply it to your life and make your situation a whole lot better. Because what happens when you, and this is basically the lesson today, is when you start to spend too much time trashing an opponent, eventually that mindset, that resentment, that's the mindset it takes to continue to bash someone and trash someone, eventually that catches up to you and you start to see things coming back on your end, like Kamala Harris is experiencing now. All right, so like I said, I'll dive more into this a little later on the live stream. Make sure you tap in with me there. The main website to check out to dive deeper into all my work, it's makeyourmove.com. That's MakeYamove.com. One-stop shop for your teamwork and your self-development needs. As one, Crookshank, and one and only Move Swiftly speaker checking out. You guys continue to move swiftly. We will talk more soon.